While the work world for technologists had been shifting between house chores and attending work meetings, the post-pandemic era demands things beyond what they just got used to. To give you some career advice, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Ms. Jaya Rugi, Vice President, Engineering Division, Goldman Sachs, Hyderabad. All right, I have with me Jaya Rugi, Vice President, Engineering Division, Goldman Sachs from Hyderabad. Welcome to the show, Jaya. I'm elated to have you here with me today for a delightful conversation in the Techie Conversation with Goldman Sachs.
Thank you for inviting me, Sukriti. Happy to be here.
Wonderful. So, Jaya, without any further delay, let's get on to the questions that I have for you, because I'm sure so many people here in the audience are waiting for you to address the parts that they would want to hear about as an inspiration, as a motivation to take up their career. So without taking any more time, I would quickly jump on the questions. So to start with, tell me what comes to your mind when you hear the word diversity.
Yeah, so let me first begin with the definition of diversity. We are all multifaceted individuals. Our traits, qualities, life experiences combine to make us who we are. Now, some similarities and differences are obvious, like gender, age, ethnicity. But some aren't so obvious, like sexual orientation, religious and political beliefs, educational and socioeconomic backgrounds, physical and cognitive abilities, so on and so forth. Now, a range of these differences within a group is what creates diversity. So you see, our shared goal is understanding others and the ways their identities and perspectives, might be shaped. Now, diversity often focuses on the differences, we all know that, and hence it's referred also as the mix. What I would like to really emphasize is on inclusion. It's a super important aspect. What is inclusion, really? It is a deliberate act of welcoming diversity and creating an environment where all different kinds of people can thrive and succeed. So to me, diversity and inclusion go hand in hand, and only then, Sukrita, we will achieve success and longevity with building a diverse workforce. So today's topic is on women in technology, Sukriti. So I would like to really focus on one aspect of diversity today, which is gender diversity, and which is women. At Goldman Sachs, we are committed to work towards building a workforce, that represents the communities where we live and work. So what we have established an aspirational goal for ourselves to improve our gender diversity at the firm, so that women over time will represent 50% of our global talent. And we all know by now that women in STEM is a focus world over. If I look at my own career journey, I started 27 years ago as one of the few STEM women, and to where we are today, we have come a long way. I remember, Sukriti, there used to be a lot of apprehensions, like if I take a 1-year break for personal commitment, what would it be to my career? Will I lose out on my career? Will I lose out touch in technology? Can I code better or equal to my male colleagues? What will happen if I take a maternity break? Will I lose out on technology? And really, can I afford to take a break in my career for this? And, some of these apprehensions are still pertinent today. But I just want to say to the audience is that now we don't have to think this way. It's technology and financial companies such as Goldman Sachs, they have been at the forefront to bring STEM women in the workforce and, provide them with comprehensive support. And you also have seen some of the governments across the world are laying the foundation for women's STEM education. And, finally, our societies, which are an integral part of our communities, they have also started evolving and embracing that women should pursue careers in the STEM field. And finally, the pandemic has also propelled, with the hybrid work model, it's just going to be an enabler. So now, finally, while we have come a long way, we all collectively are going to have to do more when it comes to building a strong and sustained pipeline of women STEM workforce and leaders. As I said, pandemic has brought an opportunity for all organizations, societies, and women and their families to work towards this. Challenges such as staying connected with technology is made easier through plethora of online trainings. Women who have taken breaks in their career can now avail these online trainings and return back to work seamlessly through programs such as returnship program provided by Goldman Sachs and coding events provided by TechGig, and so on and so forth. So it's also now an individual's responsibility to leverage all the comprehensive platforms companies are providing, to have a rewarding career. So finally, when you say diversity, what comes to my mind is inclusion, and that there is a lot of opportunity in the current ecosystem.
Well, that was very nice. Thank you so much for that, Jaya. Moving on to the next one that's in queue for you is that three advice you would actually give for hiring, training, and retaining women in tech.
Okay, so let's look at the hiring space. I'm pretty passionate about this. My advice is that please ensure diversity is in the interview panel, and importantly also sensitize and train the interviewers on unconscious bias. I can't tell you how important it is, to have a successful diversity workforce in the hiring pipeline. For women candidates, my advice would be please leverage all the platforms and facilities that organizations such as TechGig, Goldman Sachs provide on large software coding events for hiring. Look at our returnship program for mid-level roles. And finally, I think it's super important to focus on networking and marketing skills. I think this is where my advice for women candidates would be to focus on. And at this time, I do want to highlight our Hyderabad office, which went live recently. It has put its focus on diversity hiring since day one. So from day one, we are having an aspiration to attract talent, to work on critical business and technology center of excellences. We have decentralized financing, which is a crucial segment. We have Hyderabad, which is considered as an engineering hub. It has a lot of focus on latest cutting edge technologies, whether it's cloud computing, data science and analytics, AI, ML, big data, etc. So I joined Goldman Sachs very recently, and I'm super impressed in that my company is at forefront in weaving cutting edge technologies into the banking domain. With my own experience to back it up, really my advice to women would be to think of your career as achievable, pursue in STEM careers, look at being part of the technology journey, even in the financial companies, it's pretty rewarding. And I'm just amazed. So as a STEM woman, I get both of the best worlds, cutting edge technology integration into a rich, complex banking domain. So to be honest, really, it's an exciting time for women to pursue their colleges and careers in STEM and in financial firms, So that's that in the hiring space. Coming to the training and reskilling space, companies like mine, Goldman Sachs, we offer targeted programming initiatives. It really helps. So for example, we have the returnship program. It's a paid 12-week program that offers opportunities to a variety of divisions, in a variety of divisions, and the prospect of experiencing the vast network, resources that Goldman Sachs provides. Of course, this program provides the returnees an opportunity to integrate back into the workforce through full-time positions based on their performance and suitable roles. The other all of this, right? It is important to know the wide array of platform that women today have, and we all should make full leverage of it. Now I come back to the retention and reskilling space. I feel it's a much needed focus, and we at Goldman Sachs, we believe in a holistic ecosystem that supports our employees to reach out their maximum potential throughout their career life cycle. So really we believe in investing through development learning opportunities. My call out to all the women and girls who are listening to this session, please know that you have now abundance of facilities that we never had, And so please make sure that you fully leverage them. I'd like to encourage to grow your career using all of these facilities and much more.
Wonderful. Those were some absolutely great, advice that you have shared, Jaya. I am so delighted that, when you conversate and have, words shared and thoughts shared at such an event, I'm sure the thoughts and the processes goes out loud to the audience and they can understand and, very well imbibed by it across the world. So moving on, the third question, a quote that explains, women balancing work and life amid the pandemic.
I mean, a quote that comes to my mind, and it's very relevant for today's pandemic situation, is Steve Covey's quote. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. The key is not to prioritize your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. While it seems like a juggle, but still, it's such a important philosophy. I follow this philosophy more so now during pandemic, and it's because it has helped me blend my personal and work priorities. So, for example, instead of trying to work around my meeting schedule in my calendar, I take a step back and I reflect on the high priorities that I need to accomplish, and I accordingly work my schedule around these high priorities. So, I mean, I start with the end in the mind, I prioritize, and then I focus on the important tasks. Now, this really helps me accomplish my goals. Otherwise, I'm looking at slogging through a laundry list. So, really, the mantra is the key is not to prioritize your schedule, but to schedule your priorities.
Wonderful. That should be very helpful for all of us, I'm sure, not just the women in tech, but everyone. Moving on to the next one, your mantra of surviving the hybrid work model, because that's something that's very contemporary for all of us. So, what's your mantra, Jaya?
Well, again, I go back to Steve Covey's quote. My mantra really has been to schedule my priorities instead of prioritizing my schedule. And I think a lot of people, when they reflect back, will understand what exactly it means in this hybrid model. Well, look, hybrid model has brought many good things, but at the same time, it has also brought some challenges. Like for example, how do we actively engage our team? How do we stay everyone motivated? Um, so it's important in this particular hybrid model that we build more meeting equity. It's very important for the model to work. So we need to communicate more, creatively engage the team through various channels at hand, like video calls, using other shared communications and other various collaborative tools that are there out in the market. They're super vital. I just can't tell you how much I would stress on that. Now, the other thing that has happened is, given that home is now office, one can get burnt out and get trapped in an always on mode. I'm sure you must also have experienced that, Sukriti. To avoid this, I blended my personal and work priorities. I shared some of my responsibilities of the household matters. Besides, I used the time saved on commuting, which was a big part of when I used to go to office, is to now invest that same time in my personal well-being, taking regular short breaks. It's really helped me to be more productive. So my mantra also has been to really take short breaks. It really helps recharge the mind. When possible, you could even have a virtual tea break with your colleagues. That also helps. The other thing is with online networking, which is now the new normal, it is making it easier for women to lend their voice and expertise in important conversations. So when I look at my own company, Goldman Sachs, it has always given flexibility and also a very inclusive work culture. So this has really helped me survive in all of this pandemic. If I really have to summarize my mantra, it has been of scheduling priorities and also sharing and caring during these difficult times.
Wonderful. Now going to the last one, Jaya, three biggest learnings as a leading lady in the tech industry.
Well, I have many, but let's look at three of them. So, as you know, I have vast experience of multiple decades, 27 years in the tech industry, both in the US and in India. The top three learnings that come to my mind are first one is, to be authentic, celebrate the you in you. In this day and age, where dynamism is the norm, we really should ensure that we still remain authentic. One of the things to remember is to be yourself. Otherwise, trying to become someone else for acceptance, what it does, it really takes away the time spent on readjusting instead of focusing on self-improvement. So my first learning has been, don't worry about acceptance, just be yourself, compete with yourself, really be the best of your own version, so you can tap into your vast potential. Then my second learning, I would say, is to be vocal. I still remember when I started my career, I used to feel that if I do my work diligently, then automatically success in terms of promotion and enumeration will follow. But that does not always work. Being vocal really helped me. So, for example, when I started my career, I was one of the very few STEM women in technology field, as I mentioned. In my then team, my colleagues and my lead would go out for late happy hours, late night, and end up discussing work-related items, really unintentionally leaving me out. There was no deliberation there. Now, to not feel left out, I had a choice of joining them despite inconvenience to me, or I had the choice to call out my concerns in a respectful manner to the lead. And I chose the latter. My male colleagues and leaders have been supportive and open-minded, to learning different views that we also bring to the table. So really what I found that worked for me was to voice my opinions, share my thoughts and aspirations. So if you ask me, my advice for women is to be vocal, be assertive without being aggressive.